Hey there, welcome to the table. So that last mission I thought went a lot better with the new rules of how command and control actually has to be done a lot by the Russians. So the Russians can attack you, and they can even attack you a lot, but they have to pass their command and control check every time. So I thought that was interesting, and definitely a much better improvement. The only thing that sort of stinks is I wish there was a better way to keep track of who detected who. Almost like I'm envisioning I may need to create a chart, almost like this, but the chart is nothing but putting, okay, he detected, Task Force 2 or something like that. I still have some confusion on if I have Task Force 2 detected by one guy, does the other guy try to detect that same Task Force 2, or do they just draw from the cup? As you know, we've been drawing from the cup. I actually think the drawing from the cup actually worked out better. I think in the long run it'll work out better. Obviously, the Russians kept failing their command and control check, and then our missile shield helped us block a couple of the attacks, but they did attack us. So I think it worked. It really did. Okay, just to give you a State of the Union, the Doyle is ready to go shaken. It will after the next mission. Everybody else is actually holding firm. The DeWert, who would replace the Doyle up front, is not able to do so. If he gets 2 more stress, he will also go shaken. So we got a little bit of an issue there, but I think we're going to be okay. I have the matter of all these torpedoes that I want to drop off to somebody. So the DeWert actually has a sub bonus of +1, and he also has the Sea Sprite helicopter. The Lady Gulf has a helicopter with no munitions. The problem I have with giving all this to the Lady Gulf is, actually no, we're going to give it to the Spruance. That is going to cause the Spruance to gain a stress. And I think I saw somewhere that that JB was picking on me because I say Lady Gulf and it sounds like it's Lady Gulf. And the answer is yes. It's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like it's a lady. I got to start using feminine pronouns for it. It's lady, right? Is like that would be the difference. It's lady versus lady. And then of course I'm a little lazy with my the tongue part of it, so it's just Lady Gulf, right? So it sounds like lady and lady. They both sound the same. I think Chicago has that problem. Chicago people, when they're saying certain words about, they do a boot. They sound Canadian a lot with their about. There's something that Chicago people say, and it's like no matter which way they say it, the two words sounds exactly the same. It'll come to me. I don't remember at the moment, but it does make me laugh. Yeah, Lady Gulf. I am pronouncing it. It does sound like the word lady. And of course I say lady, and you see they're both sounding exactly the same. I have to deliberately go lady in order to get that to come out properly. I am assuming that it is pronounced lady, right? I mean, because I've watched enough World War II videos on YouTube or whatever, and documentaries to. I don't think it's pronounced any other way. It's just I'm very. My late T versus my late E sounds exactly the same. All right. So enough of that fun fact trivia. So there, we had all the munitions are handed off. Our munition ship is the MVP of every mission. To be quite honest, the Ticonderoga, of course, is the MVP of the battling. But this is really like if you're looking for a solid strategy to help you. This is it. For 4 SO points, you get triple the ammunition. And then if you take that commander, you get it all for free. You're getting all these ammunition points for free with that commander. To me, it is the most powerful commander in the game. And I know that those other commanders give you bonus attack. I don't care. None of that is as powerful as getting this little beauty right here for free. So I think that's definitely the MVP. Okay, so as you know, we're moving forward. Before we do the actual target, we got to check for the encounter. And I believe that is how this works. You do the encounter first, and then you do the target. Let me make sure, because last time we didn't have an encounter at the target. Okay. Yeah, enemy task force activity. Yeah, we do this first, and if there is an engagement, we do that and then completely resolve it. And only when the activity level is none do we go to the target area check. So technically speaking, the activity level to this one is now none because we destroyed it. So I just put that off to the side. And I almost knocked a bunch of components on the floor, so good save, Jeff. All right, so let's roll. Here's our encounter. We got ourselves this guy. Remember, we still have to add +2 to all of our rolls. This is the carrier expansion stuff. Submarines. I actually am happy to see it's submarines because I don't have that many missiles. Here we go. I rolled a 2, and I add 2 more, and I get a 4, and the answer is none. So we have no encounter. The encounter would have been exactly that, 1 or 2 submarines, and I actually would have welcomed that. I think we would have done just fine. We had plenty of anti-submarine materials. I had 2 helicopters that are ready to launch, so we were good to go there, but that is not happening, and I'm okay with that too. It is 1 less experience points to be had, but it also means the USS Doyle is not going to go shaken prior to this mission. And so here we are. We are at the enemy merchants. We are at our target. So this was not a deep mission, which was the point. We didn't need to go deep. We have to grab specifically 2 armed merchants and a Foxtrot sub. And we have to destroy everything, basically. We did have 1 armed merchant that's in our discard pile, so I may have to pull from there. But let's look at the main deck and just grab from here first. And I always look backwards. It's easier than trying to look the other way. I do want to take on one of these big guys someday. Let's see. I'm looking for armed merchants and Foxtrot. Well, the Foxtrot's not going to be in here, so I'm just looking for armed merchants. Okay, where is the armed merchant? Did I really go buy it and not even notice it? I feel so embarrassed whenever that happens. Yeah, it does say that there's 2 armed merchants at least. Oh, come on. There it is. It's written on the top. It's the Levitsky Komsomol class. That's why I'm looking at the class. So it's written along the top. Yeah, because it's named. That's why. Ay, ay, ay. I may just grab the other one from the discard pile. There might only be 2 in the game. But I wasn't looking at the big words. I was looking at class or the Sovereign class. I wasn't reading the top. Yep, I think that's... There's only 2 armed merchants in the deck, and we had 1 that we encountered in the last encounter. So that's a simple... I just gotta go grab it out of the discard pile here. He's here somewhere. Here he is. And the crazy thing is armed merchants aren't even a big threat. So this will be ship 1 and ship 2, just like a Dr. Seuss. And then the sub is a named sub, so we're not going to grab one of those sub tokens out of the token. Since it's a named sub, it's actually going to be, we know it's an enemy, and it's here to rock and roll. It's a SSK class, or SSK type of sub. I don't know what that means. I think that means he only attacks if you're at level 2 detection. Or do you attack? Yeah, I think because these are usually instructions for their attack. So it's only going to attack. He's only going to attack level 2 detection only. But yeah, he's a little on the silent side. All right, that is it. It's only 3 people. I was sitting here telling you I need to keep all my markers. I have 7 RGM-84s. That's more than enough to take out 2 merchant ships. So from that perspective, I overkilled once again. But then again, had we rolled a little bit higher, we would have had another encounter. And that other encounter could have been surface ships. So in my defense, I think that could have been possibly bad. But it's actually turning out to be okay. Enemy ship 1, enemy ship 2. And then the sub 1. Here we go. All right, so like I said, there is no, you don't draw the sub thing from the cup because it's not an unknown sub. We know it's a sub. So, and we also know it's an enemy, so you're literally drawing the card. And now, for the first time, we finally get to have placement and movement modifiers, possibly, if it had any, to the tokens. Okay, so we got that done. Oh, we got to do the event. At sea resupply. Add 4 SO points of ordnance. I was so worried about my ordnance. There we go. 4 SO points of ordnance to any ship in the task force. I can add it to like the Wainwright or the Doyle. The Doyle has a -1 to sub attack. I'm going to add. I'm going to add 4 regular Mark 46s. 4 SO points. SO points is a lot. I could add those RGM 109s. 4 of them. Why not? I got plenty of the problem is I'm adding them to the ship that already has all the RGM 84s. So the Dort is really low on weapons. The Lady Gulf has the helicopter that's attached to the Lady Gulf has no Mark 46s left. I have the Azrock Mark 46s, but he can't equip those. So that's my debate. Do I get Mark 46s just so I can launch this helicopter, which I remind you I don't have any, or do I give weapons to the Dewart, who is really low on anything, or do I give munitions to these ships, the Doyle or the Wainwright, who have none at all, but they stink if they use the weapons. And then 4 SO points is just a lot of points of munitions when I'm now suddenly realizing I have plenty. I had plenty before being given 4. So I'm just looking real quick. You know what? I'm going to get some AGM 114s and then give them to my helicopters. I can do that. The problem is only the helicopters can use them. And one of the helicopters can't use air or anti-ship missiles at all. AGM 114s or AGM 65. Yeah, that's too much. It's too much. As much as it's a cool idea, 4 SO points worth is way too much. I can get Sono Boys, but then again, it's just for one ship. I'm going to grab 4 RGM 109s and just be done with it. They have a range of 6. Okay. Let's rock. Enemy ship 1. I rolled a 2, which is 4, and then the 8 puts it down here. Enemy ship 2. A 6 and then a 2. The 6 is at range 6 and the 2 is up here. And then the enemy sub. A 3 puts it at range 4, and then the 4 puts it here. So there you go. That's what we got. Placed a battle counter to 5. We drew the event card. It's time to rock and roll. So here is our card. We'll just put it up there in the corner. And there's no Sono Boys, of course. We perform our fast task force actions. And as you know, we got to detect some stuff. So the Spruance is going to spend an action to launch its helicopter. And of course, the helicopter is going to have 2 of the Mark 46s with it. Sorry. Okay. Alright, so like I said, we're launching the helicopter. It gets 1 stress. And then it goes 2, 3, and 4. And then I got to put those tokens into the detection cup. And that is done. I just got to make sure I put it in the right cup this time. Okay, next. The Dewart, or the Doyle, can try to detect somebody. He does get a -1 against a sub and a ship. He can detect with a 5. Oh, come on. Okay, so we got the Doyle here that... Now, I have like this focus thing where 2 ships can get a detection +3. But that requires a commander action. We used the commander action. No, we did not use a commander action. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, we got to roll to see the sensor performance. We got to roll for the sub. So here's our situation. Surface detection is -1. And then we're going to roll for the sub. I rolled a 4. And it's only if it's an SSN they get a +2. But he's shallow. The sub is. So we got that covered. The thermal layer is only a -1 for this guy, but he's not below it anyways. Do I want to use a commander action to increase my detection? You know what? My answer is yes, because here's why. The helicopter launched for 1 action. That's 2 actions. That's 3 actions. He can shoot his torpedoes for the 4th action. And we're going to do exactly that. We're going to, I'm going to use the Spruance to detect that sub, and I'm going to use my commander action to use this skill, +4 detection. So we're going to add +4 to his roll, and let's hope he rolls well. I rolled a 2, which is awful. All right, so the Spruance skill is +2, so that turns into a 4. I have to subtract... No, that's not a surface detection. It is a range 4 detection. Oh, look at that. +3. Oh my gosh. So that's now it's 7. That's a +3 because of where he's located. That's a 7. Then I get to add +4 more because of my skill. That's 11. But the sub itself has a -2, which puts us down to a 9. And then he's a screening force, which adds +1, so that's a 10. So a 10 is a detect level 3. We got him. And then this SH3, which is from the same Spruance ship. Fire, fire. And let's roll. And that's a 9, that's a hit. And that 7 is also going to be a hit. Because you get to add +3 because of this. That's annihilation right there. And he only needed 1 hit to get killed. So the sub is already out of the game. That was well done. Very well coordinated there. Okay, so excellent use of the torpedoes. He's down. Sub is gone. We're already 1/3 of the way to our goal. And I think, though, that... Oh, no, the Doyle can try to detect somebody. So the Doyle's going to try to detect here. I don't think that's going to cut the mustard. 4 minus 1 is 3. Yeah, and then the surface detection is -1. Nope, nothing happens. Okay, so then we move to the move enemy units. I'm going to roll blue for this guy, brown for that one. Alright, they both get a +1 to their movement, so this is a 3, which means he sits still. That one is a 6, which means he sits still. So none of them do anything. Now we're to these guys. So again, I don't have a whole lot to do, but the Wainwright's going to try to detect this one. That's not going to do anything. The DeWert is going to try to detect this one. Not going to do anything. And then the Lady Gulf will also try... Well, actually, what I should have done... I should have been smarter than this. But that's okay. The Lady Gulf will also try to detect... no, the Lady Gulf's not going to try to detect. I picked up the die. We got 2 commander actions. So we're going to use the commander action to do one of these joint things to detect. We're going to detect that guy in the back. So I get to add +3 to my roll. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. 3 plus 3 is 6, which is good. But the range modifier is -2, which puts us down to 4. They are screening ships, so that puts us back up to 5. And then the Spruance gets to add another +1, which puts us to 6. That is a detection level of 1. So we do have him detected. And then for the other commander action, we're going to do it again with these 2 ships. Hold on, I need to think about this. Those 2 ships are spending their actions when you do it. So that didn't work. All I can do is have the Spruance try to detect them. So I rolled a 3. That didn't do anything. The 3 didn't work. This is not detected. So then I'm going to use my other commander action to detect this. I rolled a 3 again. I'm rolling horrible. 4, 5, -1 is 4. I need a 5 to detect. I did not detect. So then the Lady Gulf will try to detect. I got a 6, -1 is 5. But I get to add +2 because the Lady Gulf has 2 ship. So that's 7, and it actually gets level 2 detection on the first ship. But I'm out of actions now. So now we decrease detection levels, so this drops down to 1. But he is at least still detected. And then, of course, I'm going to continue the engagement. So now we're down to 4 battle turns. Okay, so we are in the fast actions. I am going to, of course, land the helicopter. He now has 2 stress. We'll get his stuff out of the cup. It's actually a pain in the butt to pull these out. For whatever reason, I can't find that third one. There we go. Found it. All right. I'm going to use my commander action to move them 1 closer. We're going to use the Doyle to try to detect this one. The Doyle is not going to succeed. Actually, this is where I should have used the combined thing and get a +3. but I use the commander action to move them instead. Okay, then we'll use the Spruance, and I'm going to try to improve this detection. There we go. We got a 9. Spruance adds +1. Screening adds +1 more. This adds -1. We get to 10. These ships, by the way, have no defenses. No noise management, no torpedo defense, no missile defense. So we got this to level 3. So he's going to be a sitting duck. Alright, it is now their turn. So they're going to move. Blue-brown. So we got a 9 here, which becomes a 10. So he's going to move in 1. And then this is a 2, which becomes a 3. He sits still. These guys do have a range 2 missile, so this guy can try to attack. So I think last time I think I forgot to do detection for them. So I'm going to do detection for them for the last round. Again, blue-brown. A 4 and a 4 would not have cut it last turn. Now we're going to do it again for this turn. And other than destroying the ship here, we do have some dangerous levels. This 5 I'll check, and I'll also check the 7 there. Okay, this 5 gets a +1 because of the range, so it's now a 6. He needs an 8 to detect something. This is a -1, the environment, so that 6 goes back down to a 5. He's just not going to cut it. He doesn't have any bonuses. So that didn't work. But I forgot my cardinal rule that I made for myself is we would always go backwards in. So let's do this one. He's a 7, but he gets a -1, which is a 6. He needs an 8. And, you know, he has no bonuses either because this is a -1 as well. Yeah, neither of them detected anything. So, no do there. He's in range to attack us, but he doesn't have any visibility. I mean, they're armed merchants. I mean, they have like a guy with a binoculars, and that's it. All right, so we're now in the slow phase, and I'm going to use my commander skill to move them forward 1, and then my Wainwright is actually going to attack with the gun. And there's a 10, and kaboom. Not even close. Holy cow, that was awesome. So our merchant is gone. And we do need to get this guy detected, so the Dort will try... Well, I have one more commander action, so I'm going to use the commander action. Nope, I'll use the Dort to try to detect him. The Dort rolled a 1, so it stinks. So now I'm going to use my last commander action to have the Spruance try to detect him. There we go. We got a 7. Spruance adds 1 for 8. Has a skill of 1 for 9. The environment takes 1 away, puts it back to 8. That is a level 2 detection. And that's all I needed. So the Lady Gulf, who's the last one to go, has VLS for RGM 109s. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is our first time using these weapons. And they can hit twice. So that's 6/9 means that they can do 2 hits. They have a range of 6. That S7 is just a search ability. This here is not used in this game. That's used in a future expansion. That, of course, is the SO cost. I don't remember what the -1 is. Let me check that. That's the only thing I don't know. This guy's toast. That much I do know. That's the campaign map attack modifier, so that is also not used. That's a future expansion as well. So, no issues there. Alright, so this is a +1, this is a +2, this is a +2. And I only need a 6 to hit it. It only has 1 hit point. So, I am going to use 2 more dice. These 2 get the +2s. It doesn't matter which one's which. And then the blue and the brown are always in the same order. And there we go. Here's a 6. And then look at this. That's a 6 with a +1. There's a 10. And that's a 1. And this is a 4. It didn't matter. I think every one of them except for this one hit. And then this one hit twice. I think this one may have also hit twice because they get to add +2. And then so that's 6, 7, 8. And then that's 9. And then the Lady Golf adds +2 itself. So that's 10, 11. Even this one, 1. The Lady Golf adds 2 to make it 3, 4, 5. He's 1 short. So he almost hit. A 2. I'm sorry, no, and then I get to add +2 because it's the third one. So this one hit, even with a 1. So all 4 dice hit this guy. He has 1 hit point, and I hit him for 2, 4, 5, 6 points of damage. Did I overkill it? Maybe? Yeah, but the mission's over. And there we go. You don't get to bring the munitions home with you, so why not fire it? I mean, it's good for the training of the shipmen. I mean, you know, if somebody brings by an artillery cannon and the munitions are gonna go bad and they can't bring them back home, of course you want them to try it. I mean, who doesn't? All right, so that is done. This was a very easy target to destroy. Okay, let's do cleanup. Event card. Gain 4 SO points. That's fantastic. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are currently at, we gained 5, 10, 12 SO points for this particular mission. And that's, you know, counting the last encounter as well. Alright, so that's done. Okay, so we have to resolve things. First of all, this resolves. We get 4 victory points. So I'm putting 4 victory points down for the good guys. We are at 14. We're not even out of dismal rating yet, and we have 4 more targets to go. So I still think we got to do pretty decent. I mean, if 4 more targets, even if they're... So if it's 4 targets with 4 victory points each, we got to do some math here. So I'm at 14 right now. So if we do 4 more at 4, that'd be 16 more. So that would put us to 30. Yeah, that would get us a good rating. So even if the next 4 targets was just 4 victory points, we would have a good rating. So I think we're doing great. The fact that we got 10 on the last one is the big bonus. You got to draw those red targets to get the big prize. I think it would be near difficult or impossible to get the great rating if you don't draw the red targets. And it is possible. You could play a mission where you don't draw those red targets. Okay, and I don't know, like maybe these other targets aren't going to be worth as many victory points. I didn't look at them. Okay, so that's done. Then we do stress. So the Doyle here is going to go to 4 stress. The Spruance is going to gain 1 stress to 4. The Lady Golf gets none. Gets none. You could argue, and this is the part that's a little sketchy, we didn't launch this helicopter, so I'm going to say he lost a stress. I don't know. And then the commander no longer gets stress. So all the stress is done. And the only one getting stress right now are the 2 screens up front. And then we're going to give out some experience points. Now, remember, we're going to get 2 experience points because we destroyed the target. And that includes Brian here. The Lady Golf gets 2. The Spruance gets 2. The John Rogers doesn't get any. The DeWert gets 2. Wainwright and Doyle. All right, we know that the commander does not level up. He needs 6. The Lady Golf needs 6. The Spruance needs 6. Yep. The DeWert levels up. Spends only 3 of the 4. So I'm just trying to make sure I cross those out. So 3 of the 4. The DeWert levels up. It is now going to be a veteran. I really like this ship. I was not a big fan of the frigates, but this is like my favorite ship. Or my favorite frigate. That's what the FF stands for, favorite frigate. Okay, so there's the skill, and here is the veteran. He now has a missile defense, finally. He gets a +2 against subs now, and a +1 against ship. He just gets better and better. That's awesome. And his stress threshold's even better, too. Okay. He leveled up, and he has 1. He only needs 4 experience to get to warrior, and he already has 1 of them. The Wainwright has 3, and because of his 2 less to promote, he does promote. So he goes from noob to green, and it's really just going to be these numbers that improve. And so they're at least a little bit less negative, but beyond that, not much improvement. I think the stress threshold got a little bit better. And I forgot, he was supposed to gain 1 stress the last encounter, and then another one this encounter. So he should have 2. So I need to fix that. And I got everything all screwed up here. Here we go. So he should be at 2 stress. Let me get that figured out here. Alright, that's done. So that used all 3 experience points. And then the Doyle only needed 2. So we'll spend those 2 and save the 1. And the Doyle also is going to become green. So our little newbie levels up. And he becomes... I noticed that changed, and all the negatives go away, except for the air. These little frigates are pretty awesome. So at a green level, he's already not bad. This low threshold for the stress is bad. But beyond that, yeah, he's good. Alright, so that ends that. Now, the one last thing is when you're ending a mission, we got to go back to this ship. This ship was not on the mission, so he loses 2 stress plus his coal. His coal is 1, so he's going to lose 3 stress. So this just becomes a 2, and then that's gone. And then the repairable stuff automatically repairs, and then he fixes 1 hull damage, so this goes away as well. So basically, the John Rogers is back, ready to do business. And then the USS Doyle is now an extra ship in our lineup, above and beyond what we can actually take with us. Now, what I could do is, I think I'd have to look it up, but I think I can take him with us and put him in the protected area. So he's just like an extra ship tagging along in the protected zone. And then, you know, if I need to put the John Rogers or anybody back there, I can like swap them out. So I think that is a possibility. We'll see how that plays out. So there you go. Mission 2 is complete, and that was the target itself was pretty dang easy. I'm only at 39 minutes, so let me spend a few extra minutes to at least do some of the... Well, I got to do some thinking here. But we basically have... we got 5, 10, 12 SO points. So we have 12 remaining. The target was destroyed. And there you go. So we're basically going to start the next mission with 12. Or if I do the priority R&R, it'll be down to 2. I got to make that decision. But I also have to decide how I'm going to spend my SO points. So I think I'll do that on the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.